What did starting from scratch actually cost you in the early days?
Oh, starting from scratch was literally starting from scratch. I was at the end of my tether. This is how much I've got left. This is how much, my family have got and ready to support me with.
So was this, you quit your job or you lost? What's a decision in building Alabastar you'd make completely different if you were starting today?
To be honest, I don't think I would change anything.
Why?
Because Alabastar was a big test in me to just do.
If all this was stripped away, who would be left?
Still me. I feel like I'd still have the skill set. I'd still have the knowledge. I'd still have everything that I needed to start again. I think another beauty about living in Dubai is actually there are moments where you have nothing.
You moved to build a life and career in the UAE as an expat. What's a boundary you had to learn to set that you never needed back home?
A boundary that I had to set. I think it's okay to say no.
Would you say being older has played a huge part? Because I feel like now that I'm in my 30s, I feel the most, even with my flaws.
I suppose the same style still remains, but it's less for concealing and more for the fact that I actually just really enjoy it. Definitely, I want to say, as soon as I stepped into my 30s, it was like something downloaded in my brain.
Hey family, welcome back to the Grace and Glow Up podcast. We're in season 4. We call this the era you've been praying for. If you missed part 1, go back and listen first. You'll want to meet the woman before you meet the founder. Last week, we met Adesua outside of Alabastar. Her rituals, her boundaries, her style, her sense of self since building a life in the UAE. Today, we go into the brand, the parts of building in public that don't make it to the launch reel. The cost of transparency and what success actually needs to look like. For her, separate from what it looks like on Instagram. That's what we're into today. Adesua, welcome back.
Thank you.
Are you ready to go again?
Yes, already.
So we're here going back to back.
Let's go.
At least we're not doing icebreakers, so we're going to just get into the frame of today's conversation. Most founders hide the messy middle and only post the final finished product. You've chosen to show the behind the scenes of building Alabastar as well. Why let people see the parts that don't look good yet?
Because it's not easy. Because I think a lot of the times when people see a finished product, they think the process was easy.
Yeah.
And I think by, I suppose removing the lid and actually showing what happens behind, you realize it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of effort.
Preacher.
You have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes spending money that you didn't see coming. Sometimes waking up early to
should that content be contenting?
Exactly. Sometimes, driving all around the different Emirate states to find yourself the best supplier. It's not, you don't just wake up one morning and have a brand in your hand. It's a whole process. And I think hopefully it can also inspire by also being really open. Those who are genuinely interested in starting something for themselves can kind of see the
vision, the journey,
the steps, and then hopefully curate something of their own that kind of aligns with them as well.
Yeah, I hear you. What did starting from scratch actually cost you in the early days that doesn't show up in a product or a reel?
Oh, starting from scratch was literally starting from scratch. Alabastar was literally its name, as in giving your last and your very last to God and hoping that He will multiply it.
Is that where the concept of the name came from?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So the woman who broke the alabaster jar on Jesus' feet, that was literally...
the song that is in my head?
Yes, exactly. So, and that was basically it. I was at the end of my tether. I was literally just like, okay, God, this is how much I've got left. This is how much, my family have got and ready to support me with. And it's either I use it for this or I use it for that. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go all in. I'm gonna take the plunge, invest it into the business and see what happens.
I want to take the listeners back a little.
Yes.
You said Alabastar was born at a time when you were completely starting from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
Take us back a little. What season is this? Are you in the UAE?
Yes.
And then if you're here and you came here for work, what does that look like? You know.
Okay, right from the beginning. So, Alabastar was born probably in 2025, so that was last year.
Yeah.
I'm taking you back to probably end of 2024, beginning of 2025. 2024 was the roughest year ever. 2025...
We call it the ghetto.
Yeah, it was the absolute ghetto. In 2025, it wasn't even letting up. I'm literally just like, what is this? 2025, I moved out of my apartment. I'm staying at my best friend's house. Literally, this is like
So, was this, you quit your job or you lost
my job? Yeah, lost my job.
Was it like, because you know to buy many things, restructure, because I feel like sometimes companies here, sometimes you can see it coming and sometimes it catches you off guard.
To be fair, there was a lot of internal politics that happened, which kind of led to...
the situation.
Yeah, the situation that happened.
Yeah.
But I think part of it was also like a personal choice, and part of it was I didn't want to be associated with certain things. So for me, the best thing to do was to
let it go.
To let that go.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I was also doing consulting for different law firms. So I also do recruitment for law firms on a consulting basis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so I mean, okay, if we're going to go back, my background is in business and commercial law, and I was a legal recruiter in the UK for several years before moving out here to actually pursue a career in recruitment. I actually started off in tech recruitment, and then moved back into legal recruitment. So that's basically that in a nutshell.
And for legal recruitment now, because your background is commercial business and commercial law, do you only recruit for that segment?
No,
or just across?
No, actually, so for consulting wise, I do the legal work, but my actual 9 to 5, I work for a real estate company. So I work as a HR manager in a real estate company. That's a whole other...
We can pay for it.
But I suppose recruitment remains recruitment, hiring remains hiring. I think the same skills still remain from one place to another. So so that's basically that.
And so that time, to that time that has happened. And so now you're living at your friend's house.
Yeah, this is before I got my current role, actually. I'm living at my friend's house, and I've moved out of my amazing apartment, like, that I absolutely loved.
Putting your stuff, like,
in boxes. I was packing my boxes up on my birthday, like, on my actual... And I literally was just like, okay, God, like... this particular year, what is the actual plan? Because I'm not really understanding. But honestly, as soon as I got the first batch of Alabastar, I would probably say it's sold out in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Praise God.
And that was down to all of, like, my friends, my family, like, anyone that, even people that used to, like, subscribe to me on YouTube, like, in 2020 were, like, buying the fragrance. And I just thought to myself, I don't understand how, where, what this is even, like, how it's happening. Like, I mentioned it, like, maybe a few times. You may have smelt it on me a few times, but like, I didn't do, like, one big
launch.
I still haven't launched. Well, 1 year in, I have never done a single launch.
And you've been selling all stock?
Yeah, we've had, like, 3 restocks of both First Love and Bold Essence, which are the 2 fragrances that I currently have. So,
do you only is your clientele majorly, like, Middle East people who are here, or do you sell, like, outside of the region?
Oh, I sell in the UK. Again, I think community is what plays a big part in all of this.
Because you're not, because you've said you're not marketing it as much.
So, I mean, a lot of it is people who know me. They've known that I've had a passion for fragrances for the longest time. Yeah. And so when I finally decided, okay, I'm going to do mine, and they heard of it, they were like, yeah, I've got to try it. Or if they ever smelt it on me when I went home, they were like, I need to have one.
I need something.
That was basically it.
I mean, fragrance is an intimate product to sell, but it's still like an invisible thing to someone until someone trusts you enough to try it. What has that taught you about building trust as a brand?
It's very, very important. I think for me, before I ever thought about Alabastar, I actually started off reviewing other products, reviewing other people's fragrances, learning how to describe fragrances in a way that people could actually relate to.
Yeah.
And in a way that people could, I suppose, attach a memory to a scent, because I think that's one of the most powerful things.
With notes of patchouli.
Vanilla, amber. Yes. To be fair, I would say that my product reviews are a little bit more real. I try to be not like pretentious or anything like that when it comes to the reviewing of products. I want you to know exactly what I think it smells like, where I would wear it, how long it lasts, whether it's worth your money.
And then if it's like something you would genuinely like, you're right, because when I listen to influencers, I listen to influencers who like I've seen recommend a product once and I liked it, and I'm like, okay, subsequently I can trust when this person says this is kind of nice.
Exactly. And I think that's basically how that has helped me build my brand, because I did that for about 4 years. So over the 4 years, people got to understand my fragrance taste, what I like, the things that I would recommend, things that I wouldn't recommend. So when I've dropped my own, if we have a history of liking the same fragrances, I'm sure you'll like it. You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
Yes,
you're gonna like this. What's a decision in building Alabastar you'd make completely different if you were starting today?
To be honest, I don't think I would change anything. Why? Because Alabastar was a big test in me to just do. And a lot of the times, I think we touched upon it on the last episode where I spoke about the perfectionism mindset.
Yeah.
Alabastar allowed me to come out of that mindset and just do it. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't
fix it as you go.
Just fix it as you go. Like as we speak, we're currently in the middle of a rebranding. So, doing the logo afresh, doing the packaging afresh, doing the bottles afresh. But that was only going to happen
if you did actually go ahead the first time.
Exactly. And if I'd have waited for this version to come out first, well, there would be no
nothing.
There would be nothing.
I would like 4 years later.
Still nothing.
Exactly. 2 years later.
So, but I think the whole thing is just to go, start, do.
Yes. Yeah. Do whatever you got to do.
Don't think too much. Yeah.
You share product designs, launches, and daily hassles of running things independently. What's something you almost didn't post, but it felt too unfinished or too honest? Because it felt too unfinished or too honest.
Oh, I think
something that's probably currently you've shared, but you're just like, if I really sat with this, I wouldn't have shared this with people.
To be honest, I don't think there's anything particularly that I regret sharing. I think before I share, I do genuinely always think a lot. Is it something that's helpful? Is it something that's edifying? Is it something that will uplift or teach or guide or grow? And if it's not any of those things, then it's just waffle, isn't it?
What for?
Exactly. So I wouldn't necessarily say there's anything I regret saying out loud. I think anything that I say, I stand by. So,
So a question. So I think being in the Middle East, we've got a lot of, there's a tendency to really get caught up in the hustle culture. One of the things that made me curious about having you in the conversation is, you've been through the journey of really trying to find a job here.
Yes.
And as well as build something while still working. And also really still be planted in community to do kingdom business with music and a few other things. Why the need to do all these things while it's simple to just do one thing and have a bit of more time to yourself?
That's true. Because, first of all, I love all the things that I do. I think I've always been someone that... I was one of those kids that did all the extracurricular activities. So I'm used to being busy.
Okay.
So as an adult, where I don't have extracurricular activities, I have the things that I actually enjoy doing, like my hobbies. I actually genuinely love business. Like, my first ever business was when I was in primary school, where I was doing people's hair for 20 pence. Like... It's always been...
Braided?
Yeah, braiding hair. Like, I would come into school, like, an extra half an hour early to do my friend's braids. So she'd be going on holiday to Mallorca. I'm like, don't worry, babes, I've got 5 braids waiting for you. I'm coming with the beads. I'm coming with the beads.
Oh, really?
Yes, and that was literally how it all started. I've had a salon at 22. Like I've
in the UK.
In the UK, yeah. So when I finished from university, that was one of my first ever businesses, and it was called Amarachi Salon, and it was actually in Southeast London. And for those who remember me back then, I also used to sell hair alongside of doing hair. So when it comes to hustle and
you've done it.
Really going for the things that I fully enjoy, I'm that person. Like, I don't regret a single thing, because I just feel like it's best to live a life that's full than sit at the end of your days and think, oh, I wish I'd opened that salon. I wish I'd launched that perfume. I wish I'd sang at church. I wish I'd hung out with those people. I don't want to feel any of those things. So that's why I do all of it. And also to show that it can be done. Why not?
Yes, because, on the platform, we talk a lot about living like a balanced life. And that's the reason why I'm very conscious about having conversations with individuals that aren't necessarily stuck or pegged to like things they do as outputs that are not necessarily kingdom driven.
Yes.
And I believe like success is something more holistic than just one-sided. And that's the reason why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Underneath the aesthetic and the hustle, what are you actually building Alabastar to prove to yourself or to anyone watching?
Not necessarily to prove anything to anyone, but I would definitely say it's to show people that it doesn't have to be perfect, and that you should just try. Like, I think Alabastar will still always remain my story of just whatever you've got left, like it's not over until it's actually over. Until it's actually over. So that last 500 dirhams that you've got, find something to do with that 500 that's going to multiply it. Yes. God puts things in your hands that
to multiply it.
Just literally multiply it. And I think that, I suppose that's the point. That's the whole point. The other half about it is also that you don't have to spend your whole life savings to look good, to smell good, to appear like, put together. Or I chose my price point for a particular reason, because when I started out on my journey, all I saw online was like people reviewing £1,000 worth of fragrances, this, that, and I was just like looking, I was just like,
hey,
me and Latafa go like this, okay? And I'm telling you now, I'm gonna find you some bangers. You're gonna know they're gonna be some good ones. And
I only discovered Latafa from my sisters, my younger sisters, because when they send me perfumes, I'm like, it better not be more than 200.
Exactly. And this is the thing. And so many people always associate like smelling good with something that's like super expensive or super like. And yes, I mean, I'm not even gonna sit here and like I'm gonna like. There's a couple of nice ones in the collection, but I think I say this because I want this to be something that's accessible to all. I want you to be able to repurchase this without thinking, oh my God, my bank account is crying.
I've not been saving for this.
Right, exactly.
My favorite scent is one of those. Like I need to,
those ones where you have to think twice and you're like.
But it's become such a signature scent for me.
It just can't, it's a must.
Even when I go somewhere and someone is like, what are you wearing? I usually say, I'm wearing this. And the reason I'm confident to say it because I'm like, Han, I know you're not going to buy this. Yeah. Because nobody is that delusional like I am. Not so many people are delusional enough to like spend like that amount of money on a perfume. They spend it on anything else but not a perfume. Exactly. So so I get it.
Yeah. And I think another thing that I found, especially in the UK market, is that like the quality of fragrances that are produced here in the Middle East are just far superior, just so much better. And every time that I've had like feedback from customers, there was like, it lasts for ages, and I'm just like, that's how it should be. But they're like, but some of my really expensive ones aren't lasting that long. And I'm like, I mean, it comes from reviewing hundreds and hundreds of scents to know like, okay, what would I want for myself? And I think it's also, I suppose, a slight reflection of myself, like what would I want for me is what I give to my clients, is what I put into my product.
If I wouldn't buy it, why would I think somebody else would be keen to buy it as well? I hear you. What does success actually need to look like for you personally, separate from what it looks like on Instagram?
Oh, for me, success is owning my own time. For me, being able to wake up whenever I want, plan my day as I like. Yes, I'm literally just like, listen, sleeping, waking up, there's money in my account, I don't have to think about it, no. But really, success really looks like owning my time and being able to be productive on my own time, on my own watch. And I suppose like as you grow older, you're thinking about family and all that type of things. Like I want to be somebody that's like present for my family. And part of that is building that while I'm young. So yeah.
Let's talk about that. Since you say talk about building family. With your move here, so you've been here 10 years.
Yes.
I tend to ask this question a couple of times to different people, not all the time, but since I know we've got time in this episode, is what would you say has been like a huge struggle here when, you know, trying to head towards the kind of goals? We've talked about like now how you've gotten really comfortable with boundaries and building your own life. What do you think about Dubai has made it difficult for you to settle down with a partner? One, because as a Christian, and you know, and then just being someone who is pursuing, you know, building stuff. What has made it hard?
Oh, that's such
we got time. We got time.
We can just like we can just pump it. Yes. The different factors that have I suppose played a part in not finding. I think number one is faith. Okay. And that's always going to be something that's like a core, a pillar. So that already half. And then the half is half. Exactly, the half is then half because it's like some of them are really walking with the Lord, and then the other half is just like saying we're not really down to a quarter. And then from the quarter, it's like, okay, do we have anything in common? Like, you know, can I have
the half? Can we half of the quarter?
Quarter of the quarter. So now we're going into the eighth. So like. So just by percentage alone, you can tell that the struggle is actually real. Then there's obviously the other half about, you know, you working super hard. I mean, I think some... I don't want to become a meme. I don't want to
Respectfully, the quantity is copyrighted. You cannot...
Yeah, don't take it anywhere. But all I'm saying is... not all men are going to be excited for your success as a woman.
As in preacher.
They will literally be looking at you with a side eye, like, how dare you try take my spotlight, or, you know, try and earn more, or try and...
It's only nice in the beginning. When they like you, they like the idea of the fact that you don't ask them for money, blah, blah, blah. They're like, go girl, she ain't a gold digger.
Yeah, and as soon as you're like...
Then they're like, okay, hold on.
It's time for them to man and do something that men do.
Then they're like, wait a minute.
Exactly that. So so there's that. What else would I would say? I think as well, part of it has also been a journey for me, like knowing myself, understanding myself. What are my shortcomings? What are the bits that, you know, I need to work on and do better on? And to be fair, like, I'm very, very transparent. Like, I know myself. Yeah. You know, like, you know yourself. You know the bad parts. You know the good parts. Listen. See. And I'm very, very transparent. Like, it's one of those ones where, you want to know what my bad... This is it. Okay, can you truly, truly handle this? But I think the other half about it is making the right steps to also...
To become better.
Yeah, become better. And so, I mean, through like therapy, the word, good friends, good counsel. I think I'm definitely like in a great space where I feel like I know myself well. And I always say this to people, like, the partner that you choose is a direct reflection of how much you love yourself. So if you do not love yourself at all, it's gonna show. It's gonna show. It's gonna show.
Now we know.
So, part of that is really working on myself. Loving myself. I know it sounds super cliche, but it's so true.
Yeah, because the reason I tend to ask this question, especially when I'm talking to like
career women,
not even career ambitious women, is that the kind of compromise you kind of have to make, and a consciousness when it comes to like choosing someone is realizing that you're choosing someone who has built capacity to deal with what you're bringing to the table, and you know, and equally vice versa. And sometimes, you know, people, you could meet amazing people, but they don't have the capacity for what you're building towards.
Yeah, that insecurity comes from you building something. So as soon as they start seeing it, it's like shakes their very core, and it's like...
And that's a hard one. I think every single time, like, I think, you know, I don't want to... The gents will figure that out because I need to hear their perspective. We'll
talk to the men. We'll talk to the men
before they say, "Oh, why are you speaking for us?"
Yeah. Let them say their piece.
What's a piece of business advice you were given earlier on that turned out to be completely wrong for you?
I think it's most, again, around like make sure that everything is perfect before you start. Make sure you have the perfect logo. Make sure like, you know, you have the photo shoot for everything already. Listen, I literally did everything backwards. I bought the stock. I'll tell you exactly. I chose my my production factory based on how quickly they could scale me. So I did the opposite round. Some people are looking for like small MOQ. Yes, there's that. But then it's also like, if my business blows up tomorrow, can you make me 10,000 in like 3 days?
Yeah.
That was literally how I was looking. So it was the opposite way around. Then the pictures and things like that came last because I was like, I just need the product in my hand first. Because then there's no point in me like taking all of these pictures from like a test product.
Yes.
And I'm like, how does it perform? Do people even like it? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I did like a social study, a social experiment. I got like, I literally formulated 7 different fragrances and I got like about 200, 300 people to test it, tell me what their thoughts were and rank them from 1 to 7, which one they preferred
So you
the
had
most.
the like one of each?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't have to sell or send samples to people?
No, I didn't sell. It was almost like a social, like little groups of people. So like I'd probably have like 20 people here. I'd bring out all 7. I'd be like, right, smell it.
And tell me which one you like.
Yeah, tell me which one you like and rank them from 1 to 7. And actually 1 and 2 were the ones that I actually launched.
Yeah.
There's still another 5 in the kitty, but I'm actually launching another 2 by the end of this year. So they're already formulated. So you heard it here first, actually.
Guys, first of all, I'm plugging you too. So I know Latafa is already like a well-known brand, and there are so many other like alternative brands where you could really get a dupe.
Yeah.
But you could get the stuff off Adesua's page. Do you usually have like an online shop?
We're building that currently.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So usually orders now
Most
like
people
by
just,
DM.
Yeah, they normally just DM me. But yeah, we are working on our website right now. So hopefully, and then also, because as I said, we're also rebranding as well. So
yes.
New packaging, new logo, everything.
Aish, 2026. Again, we're talking about building through it.
Yes.
Would you, what would you say your vision, considering even like the instructions for you were kingdom instructions, what would you say has been a key lesson when it comes to understanding that whatever you're doing is above yourself and that it's for a greater cause beyond you? You know, they look like materialistic things, but like what would you say is the kingdom heart around the stuff you do?
It's more empowerment, empowering just about anyone who uses the product that they deserve something nice. Because I think we work so hard, we pay bills, we pay for literally everything, and sometimes, a lot of the times, we actually neglect ourselves.
Yeah.
We put ourselves completely last. And like I said, I want Alabastar to almost be like, you know, when you buy like body lotion without thinking about it twice.
Yes.
Or you like just the things that you normally use on a day without thinking. This is literally how I want it.
Unless you're buying Bam Bam.
Unless you're buying because that's gonna cost you a little extra. But you smell good though. You smell good though. Exactly. But yes, I want it to be a case of like just the same way that you will moisturize your skin is the same way that you'll make sure you smell good. And like I said, it's really about just empowering people that you actually deserve something nice. Yes, you don't have to spend everything that you have in order to fulfill this either. So I think it comes from a very, very basic day-to-day need. I think it's more what it is.
Yes. And I think the reason one of the things, I don't know if you know about the 7 mountains of influence. So when you talk about kingdom influence, like as believers, there's what we call the 7 mountains. Yeah. And the idea is that believers are supposed to go dominate these 7 mountains. And the same 7 mountains are the 7 mountains that the kingdom of darkness uses. So in the 7 mountains, you've got media, you've got education, you've got government, you've got you've got ministry, like theology, this kind of ministry.
Theologians,
and you've got the rest have slipped my mind, but there's supposed to be seven mountains of influence. And so every single time, every time I'm like putting my hands into something, I'm always asking myself, like,
how can I?
Yeah, which of these mountains
do I reflect?
Am I immersing myself? And you kind of like think about strategically being in those places. And so when you look at it, is when you want to make a change, you know, it makes a difference if the government is having people who can speak for light. Otherwise, if we're not there, like policies and stuff will be pushed and we've got nothing to do.
That's true.
Similarly, when it comes to food, you know, manufacturing, production, you could see how that's even turning out and playing out.
Yes.
It's a matter of team. So I tend to ask that question with that in mind. So for you, when Alabastar is the size you actually want it to be, what do you want people to remember about how you built it? The polish, honesty, whichever.
I want them to remember the journey, I think.
Yeah.
The journey to the finished product. I think Alabastar has always been about, it's a lifestyle. It's not necessarily just a perfume line or something like that. I would say it's a lifestyle, and the lifestyle is giving your very best at every single point, giving whatever you have left and keeping it in God's hand and hoping He'll multiply it. Yeah. So this is literally the message that I want people to take out. Yeah, to take out. Yeah. So Alabastar, you spray it, you feel your best, and you show up looking and feeling your best. And then also even down to the fact that, okay, you take whatever is little and you make the most of it.
Yeah. Like, just to add a few additional things now to tie on like the career stuff. What would you say is your understanding now? Because you've mentioned you do recruitment for the real estate, and your background has been legal. Yeah. I talk about this a lot in my career research when it comes to like people transitioning from one industry to another, and how the possibility of, you don't necessarily have to feel like you're starting from scratch. Yes. What would you say is your experience transitioning from industry to industry while still maintaining leverage has been? And from the point also of a recruiter, what are you looking for if my title doesn't read? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're moving from one industry to another, first of all, you need to find the core skills that bridge one job to the other job. Then after obviously deciding what it is that these skills are, then obviously these are the skills that you magnify on your CV, you magnify everywhere else. And obviously sometimes before you even get the job, it's also about just showing your knowledge. So whether you show up on LinkedIn talking about things like making posts on, because I've seen people land jobs just by showing their knowledge online.
I'm a testament, so I get it. Yes,
exactly. Yes. So I always say, like, even though you haven't gotten the job yet, you can showcase your knowledge and showcase your experience of that particular sector online for free. It's like they're getting a free
buzz
into you before they've even decided to invest in you. Another thing is networking. So I just always feel like whichever way you want to go about it, you're always going to need other people. Yes, you can apply for jobs, and yes, you know, but Dubai is a very, very competitive market. People are applying, people are moving here.
People are quite experienced here as well. You know, people have gone to all sorts of unis, all sorts of,
Exactly. And also the space for entry and grad jobs are very, very few. And those jobs normally get taken up via networking. So it's always be like somebody's niece got the internship, or somebody's niece got the graduate job, or their sister's best friend, exactly, because of the fact that they've used their network to get what they
leverage.
need. Exactly. So I would also say networking, as well as obviously finding the core skill sets, again, making yourself visible online, and then also having a strong CV. I think overall companies want to know what is in it for us. What value added can you bring? And I think in every part of your CV, definitely look at that and have that reflect. So you can't obviously change the fact that you've worked in a particular industry, but you can show that you added value, and in the same way, using those same pieces of data, you can show that you can also add value.
In that
transition and add value into the next place that you go to.
This is amazing. And it's a reason, and the only way you're able to do what you just said is when you're clear about where you're trying to go.
Yes.
It's difficult to compare or make a trace of what's missing when you don't have a clear vision of where you're going to. I have this saying that I say, if you come to Dubai without knowing what you want, Dubai will tell you what you need to want. And sometimes 10 years down the line, you'll be like, how, how did I want all of this?
Exactly.
What would you tell a woman who wants to start something but is waiting to feel ready at first before they could do it?
There's never a perfect moment. You literally just have to get up and go, sit, plan, and start.
Just
literally.
Nike.
Yeah.
Just Nike.
Just do it. Just do it. Honestly, it really is, because I think once you start, you can perfect it along the way.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing to start with and you're waiting for it to be perfect, what is perfection anyway? Like, when do you know whether it's perfect? Until what? It's copy and paste of something else you've already seen, or
yes.
Just start, because if you already know that you've been given an idea, B, it's something that already stands out in the market that you haven't seen before, or C, it's just that you just have your own way of doing it that draws people to you, then just use it and go.
I hear you. Our last question, I asked this question to my cousin and she gave me a really interesting answer, so I want to ask you as well on this episode, because we're talking about building through it.
Yeah.
You've built Alabastar. You're building your content creation journey as well as your career.
Yeah.
If all this was stripped away, who would be left?
Still me. I feel like I'd still have the skill set. I'd still have the knowledge. I'd still have everything that I needed to start again. I think another beauty about living in Dubai is actually there are moments where you have nothing.
Yeah.
And you do genuinely have to start again.
Yes.
And where I've already kind of experienced that, I think I've come to a place in my career and in life in general where like I'm not actually scared of starting again. Whether it's a job, whether it's a business,
moving countries.
Whether it's moving countries, I'm actually okay with starting afresh, because I already know that I have what I need. Like God's already given me what I need to start.
Yes, there's a scripture that it says exactly that we have everything that we need to do what God has intended for us to do in this life. I tend now, because we're talking about building through it, if you are not in Dubai, which other city would you be living in?
To be fair, Asia was one of the places, like I really wanted to live in a place like Japan or
Singapore.
Yeah, those are the places that, but I think 2020 kind of swayed a couple of plans, if I'm being honest. But
really?
But yeah, I mean, in my mind, I always thought, if I'm not in Dubai, that those would be the types of places that I'd want to live. I mean, I still love the UK. I mean, because I know a lot of people come from the UK and they come and they're like, oh, I hate it, I'm never going to go back. I mean, it's not, yes, it may not be like the place that I want to live immediately now, but I definitely don't like strike it off the list completely, because there's still a lot of amazing things about it too. But yeah, we've got other countries that I also love that I'd want to go to.
That's amazing. You know what? I'm glad that despite timing, we've managed to get like through the end of our conversation.
That's so good.
I'm hoping you guys, after you've listened to this episode, one, hopefully you get access to Adesua's new collection coming out by end of the year.
Yes.
But you still have the...
I already have 2 fragrances out.
Yes, already. And they're already still in stock.
They're already still in stock. They're out, ready to go.
Yes, so if this is both parts of the episode, and what we walked through today isn't just a founder's story, it's a masterclass in being honest in an industry that rewards the finished bottle over the whole process, which, I mean... It's important in this generation. So Adesua, thank you for letting us see the pasta don't look good yet, and for trusting us with the woman behind the aesthetic. Where can our listeners find you and Alabastar?
Yes, sure. So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. It's at I am Adesua O. And then on YouTube, Adesua_gift.
Yes.
And Alabastar is alabastar.me on Instagram. And so, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, so go connect with Adesua, grab your bottle of Alabastar, and then insert Sissy Wainan's
the song, Alabastar.
Because that song is now stuck in my head now after saying Alabastar like so many times.
Literally.
But really appreciate you sharing your story, and I think there's opportunity for you to have more conversations with regards to what you're building. I honestly usually believe that people are very multifaceted. I don't think the time we've had has really been able to like give a full glimpse of who Adesua is. Hopefully we get another chance and another conversation for us to have this. But I'm glad that we got to give, a backstory of what you're building. Yes. And yeah, I can't wait to see what this new season of your journey looks like. And I appreciate the wisdom you've shared. Also, if you are keen on also recruitment content and stuff like that, Adesua does a lot of that. Yes. So go like and follow and connect with her on all the platforms. And see you guys in next week. Go live holy, mentally, spiritually, and physically. And see you next week. And one last thing for our listeners, if something today landed in your spirit, and if you're sitting with a question you've been afraid to ask, or hearing God ask you to leave the comfortable thing, then the Career Reset Challenge is where we work that out together. Spirit-led, strategy-backed, and built for people doing this work in the middle of everything else. All the details are in the show notes, so don't wait for life to get neat. Build through it. That's a wrap, and until next week, go live holy and go build on purpose. And remember, this is the era that you've been praying for. Walk into it. See you next week. Gotta love, gotta love, gotta